everyone, it's Laura here at Heartfilled Spaces. Today we're going to take a little field trip out in my yard. I've created these carved pumpkins, but they're kind of a unique pumpkin idea. They are pumpkins that I've gone ahead and traditionally carved, but then I've created intricate vinyl cutouts that are waterproof, and you put them over the face of the pumpkin that you've carved, and then the LED light can shine through them, and they're just beautiful. They glow, and you can make them any color you'd like. I'm going to show you how to create them. So let's go. I want to take a moment to show you how to use the free library. Here we are at heartfilledspaces.com, and this is the homepage that you would come to if you were on the website. You would come over to the library page at the top menu bar, and if you haven't subscribed to the newsletter, you would need to enter your first name and your email on the top right menu bar in this green box, and then click Sign Me Up. At that point, you would be sent a welcome email with the password and instructions on how to use the library. Once you have the password here on the library page, you would come down to the bottom and click in this box that says password and type in the password. Keep in mind that the password is case sensitive and it does have spaces. Then click enter. So here we are in the library, and if you scroll down, there is a video here that explains exactly how to download and upload files into Cricut Design Space or Silhouette Studio. If you scroll down further, you will see all of the projects here in the library. All of the files are available as SVG, DXF, EPS, PNG, and PDF for the various different types of cutting machines. Once you're here, you can click on any of these files and it will open up that version of the file in a preview menu, at which point you would download them. If you need more information on how to download the files, you can watch the video at the top of the library page. Here we are in Cricut Design Space, and we're going to upload the free Halloween SVG files. I have them bundled together, all three files, the pumpkin patch file, the black cat in the moon file, and the black silhouette tree file. I've bundled them all together and called them free Halloween SVG files. In Cricut Design Space, you want to get to your canvas, and then you want to choose Upload. Then you're going to select Upload Image. Then choose Browse. Here you're going to select the file wherever you saved it to from the library. So you will have downloaded the file to your computer from the library. It's probably in your downloads folder unless you chose a different location. I'm going to go ahead and choose the free Halloween files and choose Open. You can name the image or you can choose some tags for it if you want to remember it later. And then you're going to choose Upload. Then you're going to select the image on the far left and choose Add to Canvas. At this point, you want to kind of click on the file and drag it to the right a little bit, and all three will show up. And then what you have here in the Layers panel is you have the black silhouette cutout image, and then you also have the see-through vinyl that we're going to use, which is just a circle cut smaller than the silhouette. So you have one of each of those for each file. The first thing you want to do when you get to this point is you want to right-click and ungroup the files. Now measure your pumpkin and decide how big you want your circle to be, where it will fit well on your pumpkin. I went ahead and chose the width and height of 7 inches, and that worked out well for my pumpkins, but you're going to need to measure your pumpkins and decide how large the image should be on them. At this point, we're going to just go ahead and choose Make It, and here you're going to see all of the images come through with the different types of material. The first image looks fine, the black silhouette tree, and so we're going to click Continue, and here we're going to connect our Cricut Maker or Cricut machine, and then we're going to choose our base material, which is matte vinyl, and it's telling us to load our vinyl onto our mat, load our mat into our machine, insert the fine point blade into clamp B, and then we can go ahead and click Go. Now you can go ahead and use these settings for the 3 black vinyl panels. You want to use black permanent vinyl for this part of the project. Once we get down here to these semi-transparent vinyl, the material I used for this on my project was permanent frosted Cricut premium vinyl, and it's called Opaque. It worked out perfectly for this project because I wanted a waterproof material that was a permanent vinyl, and this material worked out really well to use as the base layer of vinyl for our design. So when you click on these yellow panels, you'll want to come up here and you're going to want to change your material. So you're going to go to browse all materials, and then you can go ahead here and just type in vinyl. And now we're going to look for this premium vinyl frosted opaque. That is the material you want to use for these yellow panels. So you're going to use the default pressure, and then you're going to load the fine point blade. You're going to load your opaque frosted permanent Cricut vinyl on your mat, and then you're going to load it into your machine and press go. Now we're going to head to Silhouette Studio for those of you using a Silhouette Cameo. Here we are in Silhouette Studio, and we're going to go ahead and choose File, Open, and you want to go ahead and choose the file that you downloaded previously from the library. It's going to be wherever you downloaded it to. If you don't know where it is, it's probably in your downloads folder. So I'm going to zoom out here just so you can see. I have set my page size it's a 12 by 12 inch mat. The material size is set to the circle that came in, which is 7.5 by 7.6 approximately. And at this point you want to ungroup the silhouette. You may want to actually zoom out and select them all. Right click and choose ungroup. Then what I would do is select these yellow layers and drag them up. These are going to be cut from different material, so I'm separating them out. At this point you can just choose which design you want on your page. You're going to want to measure your pumpkin and decide what size image you want to put on your pumpkin. This 7.5 by 7.5 or 7 inch by 7 inch fit nicely on my pumpkin, but you need to measure the surface of your pumpkin and find out which fits best for you. Once you figure out what your size is, you can change it by just clicking on it, and you hold your shift key down and you can drag the corner of these to make them larger or smaller. Mine are set the way they need to be, so I'm going to undo that, and I'm going to go over to the Send menu, and we're going to want to connect our machine. Once we are in the Send menu, we're going to want to choose Vinyl Matte. We have it set to the Auto Blade, and then your cut settings will automatically come up. You're going to want to do a test cut to make sure your vinyl is cutting appropriate, because if you cut your vinyl too deep, it won't weed nicely for you. So always do a test cut, and if everything is looking good, you can hit send. If you're using roll vinyl, you can line these up in a row and cut them all at once. I'm just, for simplicity's sake, doing one at a time. Once you cut your black vinyl, you're going to want to go back to your design, and you're going to want to drag these off of the canvas. And you can just bring down one of these panels as long as they're all the same size. So we're going to go to the Send menu, and then we're going to change our material. For the material that is the base of the vinyl, the bottom layer of vinyl, I am using the Cricut Permanent Frosted Premium Vinyl in Opaque. And this material is a vinyl that mimics etched glass, but it is also a permanent vinyl, and it's perfect for the base layer of our project because it's going to allow the light to shine through it and still maintain a waterproof surface for having it outside. So this is a permanent waterproof vinyl that is semi-transparent. So we're going to go over here to our menu, and we are going to scroll down to vinyl, and we can choose frosted vinyl. Again, at this point we are going to want to do a test cut and make sure that it is not cutting the vinyl too deep, and adjust our settings accordingly. If your test cut turns out well and you are able to weed a portion of it away without any problem, then you can go ahead and send the full file. So that's it. You need to cut one of these for each of your black silhouette top layers, and if you're going to do all three, you would do 3, and then you do 3 of these. And that's it. We're going to go ahead and head to the project now. The extra vinyl has been weeded from my project, and we are ready to transfer the image. You'll notice there is a star on my project. I added the star before cutting the image in Cricut Design Space. The purpose of the star is to help line up my 2 layers of vinyl. Once I added it to my project in my cutting machine software, I duplicated it and lined the second star up exactly over the first. Then I attached one star to the black vinyl layer and the other to the semi-transparent layer. Now that I am transferring my vinyl, I can use the stars to line the 2 vinyl layers up with each other easily. Now I cut a piece of transfer paper to the size of my vinyl image. Peel the backing from the transfer paper and then hold the transfer paper above your project, sticky side down, and line it up with your vinyl. Then lower the center of the transfer paper on your vinyl and finish with the ends. It's helpful to work from the center out when using transfer paper on your vinyl and finish with the ends. Next, use your scraper tool to press the transfer paper to your vinyl and remove any bubbles. I like to flip the paper over and use the scraper tool on the back of the project as well. Finally, peel the backing from your vinyl. Now place your weeded frosted vinyl on your surface. Hold the transfer paper over the frosted vinyl to line it up. This is where using the stars to line up the vinyl is helpful. Now slowly lower the black vinyl and transfer paper over the frosted vinyl layer. Then burnish it with your scraper tool. Now working from one corner, slowly remove the transfer paper. At this point, you can remove the stars. Mark a circle on the bottom of your pumpkin. Then, using a sharp knife, cut around the circle, holding your knife at an angle. Now remove the bottom piece and cut the pulp and seeds from it. Finally, remove all of the pulp and the seeds from the inside of the pumpkin. Replace the bottom of the pumpkin, then take a Sharpie marker and mark a line across the cut area so there's a line on both the bottom piece of the pumpkin and the main part of the pumpkin. Later, when you need to add the bottom piece back in, all you need to do is line up the marks. Now cut a piece of transfer paper in a circle to match the size of the inside of the circle of your black vinyl design. Then find the best side of your pumpkin and stick the transfer paper circle in the center of the pumpkin. Now, trace the circle with a black Sharpie marker. Just don't press too hard with the marker. Using the circle as your guide, begin to cut a hole in your pumpkin. Start with a smaller hole and work out towards the line. Angle your knife so you are cutting away at the inside part of the pumpkin. This will leave the skin thinner so you can get a more precise cut. Move your pumpkin so it is in a comfortable position for you to work on it. Once you are done cutting, wipe the skin of the area around the circle of the pumpkin with some rubbing alcohol. This will remove any extra Sharpie marker and help your permanent vinyl stick to the pumpkin better. Finally, you can turn on your LED lights and place them inside the pumpkin to make it easier to line up your vinyl design. Now take your transfer paper that you prepared earlier and line it up with the inside of the black vinyl design and the edge of the circle on your pumpkin. Once you have it lined up, press the black circle to the pumpkin, working from the inside of the circle edge to the outside edge. Then remove your transfer paper. Since we are working on a round surface, the outer edge will have some wrinkles. I flattened them out with my fingers as best as I could, but you won't be able to remove them all. The LED candles I used are operated with a remote control, so you can turn your lights on and off easily through the thin design on the front of the pumpkin. These LED lights also change color. I've left these pumpkins out in the rain and the elements for about 4 days, and the vinyl is waterproof and hasn't pulled away from the pumpkin. I'm still watching them to see what happens as the pumpkin begins to dry out. Also, the inside of the vinyl did begin to pick up some condensation droplets from the moisture inside the pumpkin. However, I didn't think it affected the overall appearance negatively. I hope you enjoyed this unique pumpkin carving idea. If you like this project, please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments down below if you have tried it and how you liked it, and if you have any suggestions, I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.